Typhoon Krathon devastated Kaohsiung and Pingtung. Many roads have been obstructed by fallen trees. In one community in Yanpu Township, residents have been freed from trees blocking their houses, thanks to a local expert woodcutter, Ching-hua. After more than 3 decades in the business, Li is dexterous handling lumber. We met him at work to hear more of his life story.
After the typhoon, Ching-hua got an urgent call. A tree had fallen and was blocking the entrance to a house. The residents needed to be freed by a chainsaw.
The whole road was blocked off. You couldn't get in or out.
With a few chops, Li got to work, starting with the smaller branches and working his way towards the trunk. In the end, they were left with a pile of easy-to-transport lumber.
You just keep sawing and don't rest it. When you pause for a moment to catch breath, then you let the saw rest.
Another family nearby asked Li to help them out too. They had initially borrowed an electric saw and planned to manage a fallen tree by themselves, but when they realized Li was available, they decided that maybe it was best to get a pro to do the job.
I thought to cut it myself at first, but I don't want to now. I'll let the professional do it. If I use it myself, it might be a lot of effort.
In one morning, Li dealt with 3 big fallen trees. It was more than 30 years ago that Li, fresh out of his military service, learned lumberjacking from a friend at the forestry service. It was just a bit of fun for him at first. Then, to his surprise, it became a life's work.
I just thought, I learned something new. It can't do any harm to learn a new skill. It's a plus. He taught me how to hold an electric saw, how to manage it, how to cut the wood. The first thing my teacher told me was, everything has a spirit in it. Before we cut something, before we start work, no matter what, we have to pray.
Li's got a spiritual practice before he begins, and when it's over, he has a process for taking care of the lumber.
It takes about an hour. I tidy it up. Each one takes about an hour.
Cleaning up after typhoons are not Li's only source of income, but when there has been a big storm, there are always loads of calls coming in. This professional's top tip is to always prune your trees in a timely manner. That's the best way to prevent accidents.